Okay, so today I'm going to show you some creative ways to mess with displacement. A lot of times I just see this one thing done and then they render it and it looks cool, but it's just sort of this blob, and there's like 100 things you can do with displacement and they all look awesome. So we're going to get into those right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is use an icosphere. Don't use a UV sphere. I'm not a modeling professional, so it's hard to explain, but UV spheres don't have very good topology for displacement, and topology has something to do with the vertices, but basically there's vertices that are bunched up on the top and they're not good. So you can use a square or an icosphere. I like to use an icosphere. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna hit Tab to go into edit mode, hit W and click subdivide smooth and put your number of cuts at 10. I wouldn't go past 10, you'll just overrun your computer. All right, now go into your modifiers, add a subdivision surface, and add a displace. In your subdivision surface, put your render at 4 or 5. I'm gonna put it at 5 because my computer can handle it, but put it on 4 first, render it, and if you can still see the vertices, hit 5, and you should have a perfectly smooth render. All right, now let's go into the displace, hit new, and then right here, to go into your texture, click right there. All right, we're gonna go to my favorite one, which is marble. All right, here it is. Now right here, you have all your different types of displacement textures. You have different one. My favorite, marble or magic. Those two, you're always gonna get some cool stuff. All right, so actually we're gonna use magic to show you this first one. So go into magic. So first thing, you have your RGB multiply and your adjust. So on your brightness, contrast, and saturation, bring your saturation down. Now it's a black and white texture. Put it back on 1. You got these colors, so you can go to your contrast, put it on 5, boom. You get this crazy thing. You can bring your brightness to 0.5, bring it down, put your brightness at 5, and it brings it up. I rarely mess with brightness, but most of the time it's the contrast that I like to play with. So you can mess with these right here. You can mess with your saturation and you know, get some pretty wild results just from that. And then right here in your RGB, we're gonna put all 3 of them at 0 right now so I can demonstrate it. So right now, it's just a circle. Then the blue, boom, you got blue. How about your green? You get that. And then your red, you can get that, and then you can combine them. And you get all this. You can have fun. You can maybe put this at 0.5, bring it down a little bit, put this one at 2, and boom. So you can mess with your colors and the brightness of just these 2 things. All right, I'm gonna go into the marble texture. All right, we're gonna put everything, we're gonna reset everything. Everything goes at 1. All their defaults are at 1, so. Okay, so now you got this. Now we're gonna go down here to the marble. So now you have right here, so you can go in and watch the texture right there. Watch what happens. I hit sharp, I hit sharper. You can hit soft, so it changes what the texture looks like. Go to soft so you can kind of see. There's saw, and you get all these super sharp edges because it's completely black. And yeah, you get this. Now, your biases. Here, watch what the texture does. The size, it brings it up. Right there. Now you got this cool looking thing. You can bring the size back down. Super sensitive, so you gotta be careful with it. Bring your depth up. Makes it look kind of like a rock when you bring the depth all the way up. Very jagged. I usually keep my depth at 0 because I like smooth displacements. And then you can mess with turbulence and watch, you can see the texture and you can animate this and it looks so cool when it's animated. You can just play with it like that and you get all these folds. You get all this right here. And then, I don't know what Nebala, I can't pronounce anything. That, I don't know what it does. I haven't found a texture yet that it affects, but you know, it's there for a reason. Go back to your modifiers. On my displace right here on strength, I usually put it 0.1. You do whatever you want. I just like the way it looks right there. You can go back. Then another cool thing, you have all these different noises just inside of your marble. So you can go to your Blender Original. My favorite one is Veroni F1. You get these circles, and it's so cool. There's a render right there that I used it on. It's one of my favorites. And it just looks super, super cool. And if you want to kind of really see how it looks, we'll put our view up at 2. Look at that. It's so cool. It's one of my favorites. And you can go in, hit Veroni F4, Veroni F2, F1, whatever that is, and like check that out. Hold on, let's put our view back on 2. Check that out. It's super cool. And you get these really nice looking displacements, and they look really cool. You can add a texture to them. Almost any texture looks cool on these displacements. Up my depth, see it kind of screws with the look. And then another thing you can do, you can take it a step further, go to image or movie, and then you can add your own. So I'm gonna go in, I made one. I went into Photoshop and I made my own displacement texture. Kind of went in, used the pen, and I made that, and it is right here. And so if I were to up the view, you can kind of see what's going on with it. And that's what it does. And so you can go in and add a photo and really go crazy with using an image, and it shows up right there. Use the black and whites, and yeah, you can, you know, almost endless possibilities with what you can do, you know, with displacement. And yeah, that's basically it. That's the different ways you can play with displacement, go crazy with it. I recommend just like spend an hour playing with it, getting to know it. It's so fun, never really gets old, and you can make some really cool renders with it. And yeah, thanks for watching. My Instagram is in the top link in the description. Feel free to check that out. Feel free to subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching.